All right, all right. Well, good morning to you all. And welcome to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. We thank you all for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that has taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. We are back this week again like a shark attack, back like we left some, back like we ain't got no clothes in our back. And for the world is a better place when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. As a reminder that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, on Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, and People Hernandez. Today is November 5th of 2022. We have yet again seen another fascinating week in the sports world, where we saw games 3, 4, and 5 of the 2022 World Series between the Philadelphia Phillies, y'all, and the Houston Astros of a highly competitive, breathtaking fall classic take place, in which now Dusty Baker is potentially one win away from his first World Series championship. If it happens, I will be so happy and I would love to see it. Game 6 is tonight, y'all, in Houston. We additionally saw the Houston Texans in action Thursday night against the Philadelphia Eagles, in which the Eagles now remain undefeated after we watched yet another terrible game by Texans quarterback Davis Mills, or possibly it was just the greatness of the Philadelphia Eagles and that star defensive line, which now includes Robert Quinn and others. The second round of the IHSA state playoff matchup take place with our Morgan Park Mustangs, Ian and Jamar shutting out Peyton College Prep, and moving on to the IHSA state quarterfinals, which Ian hasn't been done since our team in 2007. And so really fundamentally sound team and put on a great performance last night. And then lastly, we saw Kyrie Irving receive an open-ended suspension, fellas, after posting a movie on his social media account that was anti-Semitic and offensive to people of this community and beyond. And so, with that being said, introduce my brother from another mother, my guy from the brain, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Good morning, sir. How are you this morning, bro?
Whew, what a weekend of sports, fellas. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourselves?
Pretty good.
And introducing our other partner here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, and our other brother from another mother, Mr. Ian Jones, aka People Hernandez. Mr. Ian Jones, my bro, what it do?
How y'all doing, fellas?
Solid.
Yes, and so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. And so, fellas, on our first and foremost, we got the Kyrie Irving suspension. And so, as you guys know, as we do every week, we have the order. We have our brother Jamar chime in, and then Ian follows up. And so, let's begin this morning, y'all, on our first and foremost with the Kyrie Irving suspension. And so, just curious, fellas, first and foremost, what are your thoughts on this situation? And then additionally, do you agree with the suspension that was given to Kyrie Irving? And did the Brooklyn Nets organization do Kyrie wrong? Because it's people out there that believe he's been done wrong. And so as a result, it is opinions all over the place about this. And so we want to chop it up here in the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast and put it to rest, at least within our community and for our followers. And so, Jamar, we're going to begin with you, bro. Jamar, what are your thoughts on this situation? Do you agree with this? Or did the Brooklyn Nets organization do Kyrie wrong? Where are you with this?
Ooh, man. First, I want to say, doesn't Kyrie Irving always give us some type of material each and every year? Always.
Every year, faithfully.
Man, there's never a dull moment with this brother. Man. And then rhetorically, what year is it again? 2022. Yep. Fellas, we live in a society now to where everything is magnified, everything is heightened, everything is sensitive across the board. It's just what it is. Everybody is entitled to freedom of speech. I mean, it is an amendment, right? I mean, you can say what you want to say. It's an amendment, but as we know, that's only goes to a certain degree, especially
Right.
if you're employed, especially if you're part of an organization, because at the end of the day, that organization has a right to do whatever they need to do that is necessary to protect that organization if they feel like an employee is doing something to degrade the brand of that organization. So yeah, for the people that feel like Kyrie did, that did nothing wrong, or, he's entitled to his opinion, I mean, you're probably right. Like, Kyrie is entitled to his opinion. Kyrie can do and say, whatever he wants, post whatever he wants. I mean, he's his own man. We know Kyrie Irving rocks to the beat of his own drum. If you haven't figured that out by now, you've been under a rock for about the last 5 years. That's just what Kyrie Irving does. But at the same time, if somebody feels offended by what he posted, then it's like, you can't tell somebody how to feel. You just can't. Like, if they feel offended by something that you did, it is what it is. It just so happened that, Kyrie posted something that, offended a particular group of people that has power and that has a lot, basically power that can influence and, do things that can go against what Kyrie just did. So, I mean, to be honest, man, I don't really have an opinion here. Just more so, I'm just putting it in perspective of like just how far as we has come as a society. I get both sides here. I do. I'm just taking back and observing. And then lastly, what I do want to mention is Kyrie Irving, as much as he has done a lot of different off the wall things, just a reminder that Kyrie Irving has done a lot of good things in the last year. For an example, he donated $332,000 to Feeding America, partnered with City Harvest to ensure that 250,000 meals were distributed to New Yorkers. Not to mention, he partnered with Nike, the same company that suspended him and won't release the Kyrie 8s, with 17 pounds of food and masks to Standing Rock Sioux Tribe, committed 1.5 million to help pay WNBA players who opted out of the 2020 season, paid off the college tuition of 9 HBCU students from Lincoln University, and also, apparently, according to former NBA player Steven Jackson, purchased a house for the family of George Floyd. So it's not like the man is a bad guy at all. So I don't want that to be, depicted and narrated here that, oh, we need to cancel Kyrie Irving, blah, 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 blah. Like, Kyrie Irving is a man who stands on his own 2 feet, who does whatever he wants to do. We know that. I mean, this situation is more so it is what it is. Suspension may or may not be warranted. I don't know. I get it from the Brooklyn Nets standpoint, even though they're in disarray with a lot of different things that's going on. Maybe a lot of things not adding up on their end right now. But, I mean, Kyrie, at the end of the day, offended a group of people that has power, and here we are. So there we go.
Indeed. And your thoughts, bro?
Kyrie Irving. As Jamar stated, it's something new with Kyrie Irving. Seems like every other month. I won't let this be a Kyrie Irving thing where we just bash him to death like he's the worst human in the world, because as Jamar stated, he's not. He's done a lot of exceptional things over the last couple of years that he typically doesn't get his flowers about. The Kyrie Irving name is pretty. It's always something negative. In the right of basketball. So I do think that plays a part in it. I think the Nets or people per se are kind of tired of just hearing about Kyrie Irving, but also Kyrie Irving has to remember what skin tone his color is, and what world we're living in 2022. And certain things we can't do, like other races, get away with it. I'm not saying that what he did was right, but I'm not saying what he did was wrong. He just has to know his place, and things are going to go a certain way if you're black in this state of our culture that we're in today. I wouldn't even just say today, I would say period. We can't do the things that certain people do, and I think Kyrie Irving should know that. But also, it needs to be accountability, not just for us as a race, but for everybody else as well. There's been things said about us and other races, that get no flack at all. But Kyrie Irving posted a video, and rightfully so. If he offends anybody, rightfully so, he should apologize. But I don't think it should just be blown out of proportion. It should be suspended. Deals get suspended and put on hold. I don't feel that's fair to him. But in the same right, he has to know, you can't do certain things being a black man in America, especially. So I think he knows that. I don't think he knew it would, go this far or get blown out of proportion. But it's going to be a very interesting next couple of weeks. Me personally, I don't think the Nets are going to bring him back. That's just me personally. They could after the 5 games, but me personally, I don't think they're going to bring him back. I kind of think they're just going to, follow the waves. It's like there's always something with Kyrie, and rightfully so. It is always something with Kyrie. It's always something. He don't want to play. It's this and that, but he's not a total like asshole per se. He's a good kid. He just thinks out the box sometimes. So hopefully they bring him back and everything kind of goes back to normal for him. But as of right now, with the way cancel culture is and how sensitive the world is, and it's going to be a tough ride for Kyrie right now. So it's going to be an interesting probably next week or so for sure.
Right. And so just curious, and fellas, number one, first and foremost, I want to say in regards to Kyrie Irving, you are a great basketball talent. I love watching you on the court, man. You do a lot of great things. You are a great human being. The HBCU, the stuff he did for George Floyd and all that stuff is fantastic, y'all. It really, really is. But we got to understand that in the world we're living in, people have places. And so although we live in a country and in a country where there's freedom of speech ain't always freedom of speech on how Kyrie Irving looks at it. And so Kyrie Irving, my buddy, man, I, number one, feel really bad for the Brooklyn Nets organization. I feel bad for Kevin Durant, man, because Kevin Durant bust his ass to bring this man into the organization. It was Kevin Durant who brought him into the Brooklyn Nets organization. We all know as sports fans, especially Ian and Jamar, that the Brooklyn Nets did not want Kyrie Irving. They were like, hell no, we don't want Kyrie Irving. But it was Kevin Durant, who, as we know, is one of the greatest scorers of our generation and one of the greatest scorers of all time. He basically get what the hell he wants. And so they brought Kyrie Irving in. Kyrie Irving, that's stated, great basketball talent. But bro, you gotta know your place. I sit there and question, and I'm gonna piss some people off here, and they can comment, please. If we as a black person, or let's just say a Jewish person, would have posted some about us, a certain movie, etc., and it was like, going against what we encountered in the past, Black folk would tear their ass up. Black folk would be, we are not having this. We shall overcome. We will march. We will do whatever we got to make sure that person gets the message. How come, like, the Jew people and them, they can't feel the same way? They got every right to feel the same way. Y'all, the Holocaust was no freaking joke, man. It wasn't just Jews that died. Our ancestors died from the Holocaust. What happened with that affected the whole world, everyone. It was a big war that happened. And so Kyrie Irving, although he has great intentions, and I know he probably didn't mean to offend, but in a way I kind of question that I really think he didn't care, y'all, because it was clearly noted, Jamar, that it was an ADL course that was given to him to take, and he refused to take that course, which talked about anti-Semitism and all the stuff that they went through. He didn't want to take that course. And then he did not want to apologize. You watch the interview, he did not apologize. He went around the question 100 times, a million questions by reporters, which means that Kyrie was intentional and not apologizing. And the only way he apologized was when they suspended him. And literally, I'm on the podcast page, and Jamar, and I'm going back and forth with the whole damn page, and they like And although I get, and I love the fact that he's for us, and a part of his message was for us, you got to be very careful on how you just do that to others. We are not the only people that's been oppressed in this world. Other people got oppression. It's oppression in Guadeloupe, fellas. Everybody go through the shit. It's just in different forms. And so a lot of us has been slaves. A lot of us has been picked on. And so for Kyrie to do that and just walk around as if it's just not a problem for a whole 2 days, and the world is just like, hey, you know, and then on top of that, you offend Adam Silver, who's Jewish. You offend your owner, Sean Marks, who's Jewish. And not to mention, as you mentioned, Jamar, these folks got buku money. And so as a result, now you're playing into their hand, because now they can control you. Now they can play puppet with you. And so Kyrie, man, the suspension is open-ended at this moment. And so they're looking at this point, they're playing Tetris with him. We're going to see what you do. And if not, we'll suspend you more. If not, we'll just cut you. And so my question then becomes now, fellas, as we go forward with Kyrie Irving's career, and I'm you know, that's my rant. As we go forward with Kyrie Irving's career, do you think teams continue to take a chance on him, or, you know, are we looking at possibly the last game of Kyrie Irving's career?
Man, I mean, I guess the extreme. I mean, that's possible. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I guess look at Mr. West right now, right? I mean, they stripped that man of basically everything. I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, I guess he did apologize on Instagram. I think Sean Marks was like, you know, that's a step in the right direction, but we still got a long ways to go. Blah 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 blah. I mean, honestly, it's up to Kyrie. That's basically what it is. It's up to Kyrie. If he, you know, continues his stance, which he's entitled to, I mean, by all means, I mean, you will go down that path, and more than likely, I mean, there's a good chance he may not play again. If you know, officially go, drop your stance and go through the metrics they want you to go through, and the whole rehabilitation, quote unquote, of this, you probably be playing on the court. That's what it is. It is like puppets. It's like they're controlling. They're controlling the narrative. They letting Kyrie know, like, look, we have the power here. Either you fall in line or you can get lost. That's what it feels like.
And the sad part about it, I don't want to get into the economics of Kyrie Irving, y'all, but correct me if I'm wrong. Due to all these antics, recently he missed out on a 4-year, $212 million contract extension, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, y'all. If I'm Kyrie, man, I'm shutting my damn $212 million. I talk about it in the mirror at home. You know, like, why just, as a public figure, you people watching you all the time as a public figure. And then on top of that, that's not to mention the history of the earth is flat. That's not to mention the stuff with LeBron James. You know, LeBron, you know, man, they probably would have won 1 or 2 more championships. Just all Kyrie, all Kyrie, all Kyrie, all Kyrie. And it's ridiculous, man. As stated, he's a great human being, but at the same time, he gets in his own damn way. And was you going to say something, bro?
I mean, it could, like Jamar stated, I mean, it could
212 minutes.
to the extreme, it may to the extreme, it may be. I would hope not, but it could be his last game as an NBA player. I personally think, like I said, it might be his last game as a net. He could be the NBA Colin Kaepernick. We could never see Kyrie Irving play again. That's very possible.
That's deep.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too early to say right now, but I mean, it's not looking good. I know he has this kind of rebel attitude, and I applaud it to an extent, but you can't say certain things in this state. You can't say certain things, you can't post certain things, especially, being a public figure like he is, being a, NBA superstar. You just gotta watch what you say. And I mean, rightfully so. If he meant to say it, or he meant everything he posted in the post, and he stands by it, if he's ready to deal with the consequences, then, rightfully so, he'll take it on the chin and, keep moving. But as far as his NBA career, I think that's hanging on by a thread, literally.
Man, and the crazy part about it is, he's on an expiring contract, so that doesn't help his situation at all.
Right, at all.
So his contract expires at the end of this year?
Yep.
Ooh. Yeah. It's deep, man. Kyrie is a very biblical man as well. And so for him, this could be biblically based in his mindset. And so maybe this is, him fighting y'all against the powers that be. But fighting against those powers that be, man, I mean, maybe it inspires some others as he go forward. Maybe this is what Kyrie wants. And so all power to you, Kyrie. Just know that the world we live in, there's indeed consequences from our actions. Even if you're a billionaire, you're an owner, there's still other people you got to answer to. There's nobody in this world, I don't care how much money they have, Jamar, that is just flat out free from others. There's somebody they got to answer to, somebody that has the power to strip them of whatever they have. Yes, we have resources, but your resources can be taken from you no matter how much you have. That even includes Elon Musk. So, yes, fellas, I'm just curious, any final thoughts as we progress, fellas? Any final thoughts as we progress to football?
No, I got nothing else on this one.
No, that's on this one. Well, pretty much it.
All right, fellas. All right. So on a more upbeat note, let's now move on to NFL reactions and overreactions. Got that off our chest. All right, fellas. So Jamar, bro, is it an overreaction? And Ian, is it an overreaction to think that Chicago Bears traded star linebacker Roquan Smith for more than just a rebuild?
Not quite. I would say it's not for one particular reason. So we know, like you said, Bears on the rebuild. They've been like that since Post took over. But the thing that I do want to remind people of is Roquan Smith and basically had an agent, or basically represented himself to where it wasn't part of the NFLPA. And so therefore that whole negotiation process, didn't go as quite a positive thing as it should have, to where, remember, he came out on Twitter and requested a trade, this and that. So I'm pretty sure at that point, even if they was considering keeping him around, I'm pretty sure that was like, even though we want to keep him, I don't think he fully wants to be here. And then he's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. So do we franchise tag him, throw all this money at him? Then, franchise tag players get disgruntled because they ain't got a long-term deal, this, and that. So yeah, I think that part of it alone makes it not an overreaction.
And so, in other words, it's possible, Jamar, you sound like it was something that was going on more than just contracts.
I mean, yeah, based on what happened, during training camp, I'm pretty sure, that part of the situation does not just go away.
Right. There was some, yeah, I get it, some anime in there. Ian, bro, see you over there chewing and munching. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
I agree with Jamar. I don't think it's too much of an overreaction. Like you stated, I almost even forgot that he requested a trade. He just brought that up. That was a good point. He did request a trade like over the summer, or was it during the preseason? I mean, at the end of the day, it was about money, and both sides, they had a different direction. He wanted to be the highest paid linebacker in the game right now, which I think they offered him the money to be the highest paid linebacker in the game, but I think his deal was pretty much backloaded, and I don't think he really, was a big fan of that. And rightfully so, I don't think, I'm not to say that he's wrong and not to say that the Bears are wrong, and like, Jamar stated, he'll be an unrestricted free agent after this year, and then, franchise tag him, he won't show up at camp, that type of thing. So, and, they're in a rebuild. So it's like, whether we lose them for nothing or, we get something for them. But on the flip side of that, I know it hurt that locker room, losing a great player like that. He could have been a cornerstone of, our defense. We always come across a great, I wouldn't, a good young linebacker and potentially to be great. So, I mean, as a fan, from a fan perspective, that hurt, but, at the end of the day, it is a business, at the end of the day, I can't get mad at Roquan for wanting his money, rightfully so, he played his ass off. So, you expect to be paid, as he wants to be paid. So, I can't get mad at, that grown man, wanting to be paid and take care of his family the way he wants to. So,
right.
Yeah, but from a fan perspective, it hurts. But I mean, it's just the reality of the business and the game. They're on a rebuild. So no, I don't think it's overreaction. And we'll see what the Bears give us in these next couple of weeks, or within this next year or two, I would say.
Right. $130 million in cap space. And I'm sure that has grown now. Because you've unloaded a lot of books. Robert Quinn, you've unloaded Roquan Smith, right? You done unloaded a number of guys in the off season, and even last year in the off season, we looked up and it was our star cornerback was gone. Bears have let go a lot of folks in these last couple of years up to this moment to rebuild. Just was man, Roquan, he cried when Robert Quinn was traded on live radio. He called out the defense after their abysmal performance, which he should have against the Cowboys or the Cowgirls in Dallas. So, like you guys mentioned, it sounded like it was definitely a number of things that kind of led to that moment of just saying, hey, we're just letting you go because of a rebuild. There had to have been something going on between him and the front office as well. And so, Roquan, have fun in Baltimore, man. On the other hand, fellas, is it an overreaction, Jamar, to think that the Philadelphia Eagles can go into the month of December undefeated? Philadelphia Eagles right now 8-0. And guess who their upcoming opponents are, guys? It's the Washington Commanders, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Green Bay Packers. So what do you think, Jamar?
No, not at all. I mean, look, I've been saying Philly is the second best team for a number of weeks now. because the only thing I got against them compared to the Bills is the fact that who you play matters. But at the same time, like the schedules in the NFC East are similar except for like 1, 2, or 3 teams. So therefore, teams are taking care of business. If you're a good team, you're going to take care of business. This Eagles team is a really, really good team. And so, yeah, they can beat the Commanders with Taylor Heineke at quarterback. Yeah, they could beat the Colts with Sam Ellinger at quarterback. Yeah, they could beat the Aaron Rodgers and that debacle of a team right now. Yeah, they absolutely can. Absolutely can go undefeated until December.
Ian, what do you think, bro?
Sidebar, Jamar, like when you said that debacle of the Packers, that team, that I like that. I
like debacle, aren't they?
It's Bears fan to me. I know, but for sure, the Eagles definitely go undefeated. I compare the Eagles to like the 2015 Panthers, but I think as far as on offense, I think they're even better. Like they're loaded from running back, receiver, O-line is incredible. Defense, young. I think one of the cornerbacks has the most interceptions in the league right now. Has 5. I think it's like 4 or 5 people that got 4, including Eddie Jackson. I think Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I think he has 5 interceptions, leading NFL. So they balling. They on a different level right now. When like Jamar stated, with those teams, the Commanders, the Packers, and the Colts, I don't see them. Me personally, I don't see them losing until maybe late December. I think they can possibly go like 14-3 or 15-2, and that might just because maybe they benched the starters before the playoff type of thing.
Right.
I can see them going deep. Now it's up to them after that in the playoff. That's a different type of ball game. But as of right now, it just looks like it's their year.
Yeah. The Eagles right now, y'all, are taking care of business. 8-0. Jamar and they've been hitting potentially that this Eagles team could have not only home field, but wrap up home field early. They were watching this team's schedule way in August and July. And to see now, them taking care of business, the Eagles definitely are beneficiaries of a schedule that is very favorable with the talent that they have as well. And so, yes, all right. Let's move on, fellas. Is it an overreaction to think, y'all, that if the Seattle Seahawks continue their winning ways, to think, y'all, that the Seahawks quarterback, Geno Smith, deserve most valuable player consideration?
I guess the key word is consideration, so it's not an overreaction. Yeah, I don't think he'll win by any means, but if they keep winning, yeah, I can see him receiving some back-end MVP votes. I mean, let's be honest. I was one of the forefronters to write off the Seahawks before the season started.
I was with you.
Like I called them trash. I called them like landfill trash. Like I was just like dumping it on them, like literally just dumping it on. But bro, I mean, ever since what Geno said and his Geno attitude, Geno has like turned this, like it's crazy. The Seattle Seahawks are in first place of the NFC West. Let that sink in. We don't see things like this. A team that blows, that just like gets rid of their star quarterback, gets a plethora of draft picks that's supposed to be at the bottom of the barrel. They're the number 1 team in the division right now. Ahead of the defending champs, Los Angeles Rams, ahead of the NFC conference champs for like a couple years in the last 4 years, the 49ers, ahead of Call of Duty player Kyler Murray, just ahead of all of it. I'm gonna just say this one time, for the one time they wrote me off, but I didn't write back. That's my guy, man. I'm Team Geno, man. I feel it because I feel the same way sometimes in life. So yeah,
man, definitely, yeah. Shout out to Geno. And your thoughts, bro?
He got to trademark that. They wrote me up.
Facts.
He got to trademark that. I think it's a slight overreaction, but nevertheless, Gino's been balling, man. He's been balling. Like, I haven't seen Geno Smith play like this since his days at West Virginia.
Facts.
It helps. I don't think nobody's really talking about it. It's the run game with Kenneth Walker. That helps a lot. Helps a lot. He's been running the ball pretty well. I think it's a slight overreaction, but you got to give Geno the flowers. He's been balling since week 1, and it surprised the hell out of me. I think it surprised the world. Like he said, you got to trademark it saying, man. Kudos to. I love to see it, man. Kudos to Geno.
Yeah. And kudos. We finna get to this other guy next too, man. Fellas, so we talked about Geno Smith. Is it also a slight overreaction to think that Pete Carroll, Pete Carroll has had a great NFL career, guys. He has a great football career. Let's not forget what he did at USC. Is it an overreaction to think that Pete Carroll deserves NFL Coach of the Year consideration? Now, I don't know about y'all, but if I just randomly thought about this, I would think that Pete Carroll will have a greater chance to win NFL Coach of the Year than Geno Smith will win MVP. Maybe Geno Smith will Comeback Player of the Year. So, just curious, fellas, do you guys think that it is an overreaction to think that Pete Carroll deserves NFL Coach of the Year consideration for the job he is doing with this football team?
Not an overreaction, and I agree with your assessment there. Let's just say, for instance, the Seahawks do win the division. At that point, it's like the only 1 or 2 coaches you could probably put ahead of him is the Eagles coach. I can't think of his name. And the Bills coach, Sean McDermott, I think that's his name. Yep. Just depending on the trajectory right now, because my gosh, what he is doing, I guess, the man's 70-some years old. The man, according to a lot of people who runs this ancient offense, but yeah, they putting up points. Defense is actually playing a lot better. We got Kobe Bryant back there just doing his thing.
Kobe.
But yeah, man, like, dude, Pete Carroll is, man, yeah, give him his flowers, man. I got nothing bad to say about Pete Carroll. He's done a phenomenal job here. He's getting the most out of his players. Apparently, he has that motivational tactic here, because they're outperforming, out doing everything. They're shining. He about to get people paid because of this. So yeah, not an overreaction by any means.
Yep. And your thoughts, bro?
No, I don't see that as an overreaction. They win a division. I would, to be honest, if they win a division, I would love to see him win Coach of the Year. Obviously, you got the Bills, Sean McDermott, and coach of the Eagles. I think it's Nick Sirianni. I think his name is.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Obviously, they're having great years. The Bills have been relevant for the last couple of years. Sean McDermott's did a great job over there. Eagles came out of nowhere. Rightfully so. If they go 13-4, 15-2, or something like that, he's probably going to win hands down. They come out of nowhere. But if the Seattle Seahawks was to win the division in the probably if not one of the toughest divisions in the last 3 years in the NFL, and nobody seen this coming, with them losing Russell Wilson and no more Legion of Boom, it's just a total different team with a total different identity. I would love to see him win Coach of the Year. It probably won't happen, but I would love to see him win Coach of the Year if they was to, finish first in the division. But that's a hell of a division to be in. You got the 49ers, you got the, world champion Rams. So, and my boy Kyle over there, they ain't getting this together right now. So that would be pretty dope. Even though it probably won't happen, but I would love to see him win Coach of the Year for sure.
Yeah, for sure, fellas. That would be a fantastic thing to do. Right now, it's 9 more games left into the season. We're only halfway there. But it's a question that has to be asked because right now, the Seattle Seahawks are definitely the surprise team of the NFL for sure. All right, fellas, let's get to our top 5 NFL teams. And so, Jamar, you give us your top 5 quickly, and you follow up, and I'll follow up as well. And so, Jamar, who are the top 5 teams in the NFL right now?
Oh man. Little sprinkles of change, but foundation's still the same. Number 5, you know what? I give it to the Vikings. The Kings, Vikings. Look, they're 6-1, empty calories. You might actually have about 10 points worth of actual real calories now. So maybe not so empty anymore. No, with O'Connell coming over as head coach, this team has been, doing things that they're supposed to be doing. Defense is playing good enough. Offense can score points. They just acquired TJ Hawkinson here, who at that moment I said to myself, congratulations, you just won a division. Like that did it. Any chance of the Packers coming back? I don't see it anymore. I don't. That team is star-studded. It's loaded on offense. They're taking care of business. They're winning games they usually would lose in the last couple of years. So I noticed that. So that matters. Number 4, I have, if Rhonda's watching, I have the Dallas Cowboys. I do. I have the Cowboys. Even though, shout out to our Bears for putting up the most points against the Cowboys this year, with no offense, with a non-existent defense that day. But, we still put up 29 on them guys. But nevertheless, the Cowboys are a different dynamic with Dak Prescott. They are. They also a different dynamic when Tony Pollard is the starting running back and there's no Ezekiel Elliott.
Free Tony Pollard, hashtag
free Tony Pollard, man. The eye test shows that he is a better back than Zeke right now. He just is. But no, they're balanced. They're definitely well balanced. They got the running game going, the passing game, the play action. Defense is stout. This team is that good.
Top notch, yeah.
Is number 3. Still got the Kansas City Chiefs there. They're Kansas City. I'm just keeping moving. Number 2, got the Philadelphia Eagles. They're doing their thing. It's harder and harder for me to keep the Bills there, but I got the Bills there because the Bills, in my personal opinion, are the best team in football. Even with the injuries in the secondary, they're on a mission, just like the Eagles are. But I think the chip is bigger on the Bills' shoulder just because of all the heartache they went through in the last couple of years, especially last year. I think they just remember 13 seconds. I think that is still instilled in their head, and it just keeps them motivated.
Yeah.
So Bills 1, Eagles 2, Chiefs 3, Cowboys 4, and the Vikings 5.
And wonderful, bro. And one thing I just want to say is, the Philadelphia Eagles has yet to really get into that division yet. They still got to play the Commanders more. They still got to play the Giants. Okay. And they still got to play the Cowboys again. And none of these teams are below 500. Okay. Whereas on the other hand, the Bills have been going through a gauntlet, low key. Every week they playing somebody good. And so we'll see. And it makes sense, Jamar, why you got the Bills there, because you mentioned the schedule. And just from the eye test, the Bills, very explosive. And so, Ian, who you got, bro, for your top 5?
Top 5. So at number 5, I got the Cowboys. Cowboys they've been undeniable this year. You can't deny them. Got 2 great running backs. Dak is back. And the defense, they've been pretty amazing this year so far. So I got them at 5. I have the Minnesota Vikings at 4. The Vikings are kind of like sneaking up on people. With this talented team. I think, in my opinion, the Vikings have always been talented for maybe the last couple of years, maybe 4 or 5 years. They've been real talented. It's just how far is Kirk Cousins going to take them? And I think that's going to be the story, when he's back there. So I think they go as far as he takes them, but I got them at 4. 3, I got the Chiefs. They sneaking up on people too, just quietly, just real quietly. Nobody really talking about them. 2, this one is tough. I got to keep the Bills at 2. They got the 1 loss. I kind of do agree with Jamar. I would say they look the hungriest out of the NFL. I do think that 13 seconds is that's probably plastered all over their facility, everywhere. Every time they come in the facility, 13 seconds is probably everywhere. And number 1, I got the Eagles. You know, they last undefeated team. They're just looking like their year as of right now. So those would be my top 5.
Yeah. And again, bro, who's your 5th team again?
My 5th team was the Cowboys.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, guys. From that perspective, my top 5 looks very similar to y'all's. My top 5 has not changed. It has been the same. The only thing that I'm watching for y'all going forward is the Tennessee Titans. But right now, Ryan Tannehill is hurt. And shout out to Derrick Henry, who is a grown man out there. He literally has carried this team for the last 5 wins, literally on his shoulder, and rushed for 200 some yards, not even into the 4th quarter last week. That's what Derrick Henry does. And so, yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about Major League Baseball before we get into noting some college football games and then get into our NFL picks as we conclude. And so, Ian, I don't know if you had a chance, bro, but this Houston Astros and Philadelphia Phillies World Series is everything we anticipated. It is highly breathtaking, highly competitive. Both of these teams are going at each other. And it is literally coming down to the last swing. The Houston Astros, man, however, they have been prevailing more, and they're up 3-2, bro. And it's possible, man, that Dusty Baker could get his first ring tonight. And so, with that being said, we've made our picks. We all thought that the Phillies would win, and this series is very much not over. You know, Philly is strong with them bats, and they can hit that ball, bro. They got power. They are so talented. So this series is far from over. Very well could go 7. So, curious, bro. After making our picks on whom we think will be crowned the winner, and thus far watching this series, we have to make a pick tonight for Game 6. And so, Jamar, just curious, bro. After watching this series, we know that you picked the Philadelphia Phillies. After watching this series, are you still rocking with the Philadelphia Phillies to get it done, or are you thinking the Astros will get it done?
Man, I'm gonna stick to my pick, but I ain't got the warm and fuzzies anymore. I think ever since that no-hitter Game 4, that was, man.
Yeah,
that was a momentum changer in my head. Like, sheesh. If anything, I just hope it goes 7. Like, give me 7. And at that point, make the best. Let the best team win. I'm still rocking with my pick, but like I said, I'm not confident anymore. I'm not.
Right. And bro, your thoughts?
Yeah, I picked the Phillies as well. Very interesting series. As much as I want, I'm not gonna flop my pick. I'm not gonna switch my pick, but I would like to see Dusty Baker get his first ring. That would be dope. As you know, being a Chicago Cubs fan and White Sox fan, and just being a Chicago fan in general, I would really like to see him, finally get over that hump. He's been close so many times, and it just never happened. So that would be dope. I am gonna stick with the pick, but I think it would be dope to see Dusty finally get over the hump.
Right. Yes. World. Ann and Jamar are still rocking with their picks, but I just want to say this: I would love to see Dusty Baker get his first ring. He has done so much for baseball. He has been a winner his whole career. The only thing missing from his resume, and I kind of compared y'all to Andy Reid. Andy Reid won a lot before he finally got that first championship. And so Dusty Baker, I don't know how long he'll be managing. And so I love to see him get this done. He has a great opportunity. Go ahead, Jamar.
I just want to throw out this stat that I read the other day as I was Googling him. Apparently, he's the only manager in MLB history with over 2,000 wins without a World Series title. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Tonight could be the night. Tonight could be the night.
Tonight could be the night. And if he get it done, I'm gonna be very happy for him, man. Very happy for Dusty Baker. On the other hand, y'all, my phone was kind of I wasn't seeing all the comments, but I'm seeing comments, y'all, from Deshaun, etc., Rhonda. And so, yeah, Deshaun was agreeing with you in Gardner Johnson, very good. You know, Rhonda highlighted Geno, them boys, and her top 5 is the Bills, Kansas City, Philly, Cowboys, and the 49ers. And so she taking the Vikings out of there. She putting the 49ers, even though they 4-4. I think she looking at how explosive they are and what they could be and what they will be if they stay healthy. It ain't what they if they stay healthy.
man,
It's gonna
Yeah,
be,
last week.
I'll be scared to say that for them.
bro, it's gonna be just like last year.
Right, you talking about with the Rams, how good they were?
No.
Yeah,
Well,
last week.
gotcha. I was referring to how the Niners were last year, how nobody wanted to play them as a lower seed.
Oh, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Absolutely. Yes. Very scary team to play for sure, man. And so, yes, world, before we get into our NFL picks, we want to highlight some college football games today. And boy, we got some good ones in at Jamar. Oh my goodness, baby. So no picks required, but we got number 1 Tennessee. So Tennessee, y'all, they have taken over the top spot in college football. Number 1 Tennessee, they are up against number 3 Georgia. Get your popcorn ready. It's about to go down, baby. It is about to go down in Athens, Georgia. And whoever wins this game will automatically position themselves for the college football playoff. Y'all can agree. Whether they lose or not in the SEC championship, the winner of this game today is going to the college football playoff. So it is high stakes going on today. And if this guy for Tennessee, y'all, this brother, have another wonderful performance, we here to put it out in the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. That could very well be your Heisman winner. He could pull off a Cam Newton. Remember Cam Newton just came out of nowhere, y'all. Boom. Who was Cam Newton? Boom. Heisman. Boom. Championship. Boom. NFL number 1 draft pick. This kid is on that same road and he is balling out. And so get your popcorn ready. 2:30 p.m. Central Time, Tennessee, Georgia. Boom. All right, y'all. Oregon State, they actually lost to Washington. Really good game last night, late game. Michigan State, they are at number 16, U of I, fellas. And so U of I, in Jamar, they are a good football team. And their running back, y'all, he might be somewhere in New York too. This kid is balling out, this running back, and he is a local kid, and he is doing very special things at U of I, and he is running them into a possibility of being into the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis. That's how he is running the ball right now. He is balling out. Number 6, Alabama, y'all. Yeah, Alabama is ranked number 6 because they lost to Tennessee off a last-second play. Well, not a last-second play, but in the last few minutes. And so they are going up against number 10, LSU. LSU got a very talented offense, very talented quarterback. And they are a great football team as well. 24 Texas at 13 Kansas State. Number 4 Clemson up against Notre Dame. And so Notre Dame had a slow start, y'all, but they are here Notre Dame again. And so they are now up against Clemson. And this is something we wanted to highlight, world, because if Notre Dame win today, with all the crap they done went through, they'll find themselves ranked again in the top 25 if they beat Clemson today. 21 ranked Forest. Oh, go ahead, fellas. Somebody say something?
I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, and I would highlight this is a trap game for Clemson here.
Oh yeah,
That is a trap. Yeah, ever since their first 2 weeks when they lost, they've been playing a lot better. So trap game.
And on top of that, if y'all guys, I know Andy Jamar's been paying attention. Clemson ain't been blowing people out, y'all. Clemson has been squeaking by every single
week.
Yep, they're vulnerable. They remind me of Alabama, how vulnerable they was. Tennessee, as good a team, you know, they took down Alabama. So I mean, Clemson is not that team this year. It is not.
Weekend by, and I'm with y'all, fellas. This could very well be a trap game for Clemson. So for Clemson and Notre Dame, we'll see. 21 Wake Forest at 22 NC State. And then lastly, Deion Sanders and Jackson State University at Texas Southern. We'll see if they can remain undefeated. And so with that being said, fellas, let's get into our Week 9 NFL picks. All right.
Yes.
All right, fellas. So let's begin with our first big game. The LA Chargers, very talented on paper. 4-3. They are going up against the Atlanta Falcons. And so, Jamar, who you got for this one, bro? The Chargers or the Falcons?
Whew. Man, the first place Atlanta Falcons here. Right. Oh boy. It's just something about this Falcons team. They just it's similar to me of the Seahawks in a sense to where, you know, this team should be rebuilding, shouldn't even be nowhere near, and yet they're first place. They're playing hard. Chargers, dude, I didn't even realize Keenan Allen has been out since week 1. It's been that long. No Keenan Allen, no Mike Williams. I'm taking Atlanta.
Yeah. And
ATL, the Dirty Birds for the upset.
Woo.
You know what, fellas? I am with y'all. No Mike Williams, no Keenan Allen. The Falcons, man, they are a good team, low key. They're, you know, low key, they're a pretty decent team. And they are in Atlanta. I think that's very, very important here. Very important. So I got the Falcons. I think that home field plays a role for them. The Dolphins, y'all, they are coming to the Windy City, man. They coming to Soldier Field. Jamar, do the Dolphins take care of the Bears, or do the Bears pull off an upset? That long face.
You under out of pressure with that backdrop.
Every week though. Every week. Oh man. You know, like my team by default, however, it's like I expect the Dolphins to come in and do their thing. I do, man. I do. At this point, I just want to see Justin Fields go out there, continue to progress, continue to make us happy as Bears fans, because we got something to be happy about. I don't know. I'm also curious to see what Claypool does with this trade here. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the game might be a little closer. I mean, we playing in Chicago and not Miami, so who knows? But yeah, I'm taking my team by default. I can't let my background down. I'm being biased, people. I'm being biased.
Right. Right. In other words, he's taking the Dolphins, really. And who you got? That's pretty much what's happening.
Oh man, that just took me out. God damn it, you Bears! Man, this is every week. So the week I did pick them, they played exceptionally well. So I'm not gonna pick them this week.
Right.
It all mental thing.
Right. Don't it be like that? I swear I thought I was the only one. And like, damn, every time I pick them, they lose. Then when I don't expect them to do nothing, they come out and look like the damn 85 Raiders. Like,
yep.
Like, come on, man. And so yeah, fellas. I think regardless of you know, this and that, I think the Dolphins are just a better team, man. And
Yeah.
y'all see what we've let go. We've let go a lot. Our defense could not stop the Cowboys to save our life last week. And so if they can't stop the Cowboys, they probably can't stop the Dolphins. And so I'm gonna go with the Dolphins in this one.
Yeah.
The Panthers, y'all. Check this out. Let's say if the Chargers would have beat the Falcons tomorrow, y'all. If the Panthers beat the Bengals tomorrow, the Panthers are still in the NFC South, like running for real. I'm just curious though, is it gonna happen? Because we really expected the Cincinnati Bengals to look good without their star receiver. They came out last week and looked abysmal in Cleveland. Maybe it was just the Cleveland Browns being the good Cleveland Browns last week. And so I'm curious. This is a hard game for me. Especially with how the Bengals looked last week. Which is saying a lot for me. Like, how do they really look without their star receiver? And so I'm curious, Shamar, who do you got for this one, man? The Panthers or the Bengals?
This is tough because the Panthers, it's like they're responding better to PJ Walker at quarterback. They are.
That's true.
And you know what? Shout out to my boy DJ Moore, who won and lost the game at the same time last week. My gosh.
Exactly.
Shout out to DJ Moore. One time for the one time. That's like you getting hired and get fired at the same time. Oh man. I'm gonna take the Bengals in good faith, but man, I don't have the warm and fuzzies about that one. I'm being honest, I don't.
Yeah, what about you, bro?
Keep pounding, baby. I'm taking my Panthers. The Bengals offensive line was horrible last week. They were horrible. They was getting Joe killed. And they got to play another decent D line. The Panthers hasn't slept on D line. I'm taking the Panthers.
He's right. He is right.
They do have a slept on D line, bro. That is so true. Yeah, for me, I think though the Bengals, I think they are the Bengals. I think they're a good team. And so I think the Bengals, this is a good game for them to rebound. They are in Cincinnati, it's starting to get a little cold. And so I think the Bengals, this is a good rebound game or a good potential opportunity for a good rebound game. I'm keeping my eye on the Panthers. They've been playing good lately. But I'm gonna go with the Bengals just because I think the Bengals are the better team. Check this out, y'all. Check this out. The 3-5 Green Bay Packers are at the Detroit Lions. And so, if you guys wanted to pick the Detroit Lions, Andy Jamar, this might be the week. I mean, they are at home. They are playing a banged up and receiverless Packers team. Aaron Rodgers is frustrated and pissed off. And they made no moves at the trade deadline. None. And so that means that they believe in their core. And so I am curious, Jamar. I am curious, man. Who listen to Packers or the Lions?
And Packers didn't make no moves because we took their receiver. We took Claypool from them. They was about to get him.
They were pissed off about that. That is so true.
Hey, it be like that, Aaron Rodgers. It's your fault. Look, Ian, I know it's just me and you making picks. We already know Brandon's picking the Packers by default. You know what? I'm feeling a little froggy. I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna actually take them this week. I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah, what about you, bro?
And them damn Lions hurt my heart every time I pick them. Every time they go and they don't just lose, they embarrass me every time. And we come back every Saturday, and I gotta explain to Brandon why I keep taking the Lions. They keep losing. Every time.
Why? Like why? Like just why? Like why? Like
this is every week. So now they play the Packers. I mean, I don't
shout
like
out to the Riders at home box office.
Who am I supposed to pick? But I don't like the Packers. I don't like them Packers, and I'm gonna stick to them Lions. Them Lions, they better put a 40 piece on them Packers this week. I mean,
Hey man, they Lions fans said they're in an abusive relationship with the Lions, man. It's abusive. So,
I thought our relationship with the Bears was something. Woo, boy.
dude, like, bro, how do you score 27 points at halftime against the Dolphins last week, and you end the final score at 27? Like, bro, they give you one good half. That's it.
Didn't they lose a game this year like 42-45?
To the
48,
Seahawks.
45.
To the Seahawks, to Geno.
See what I'm saying?
Yep. And then the very next week, went to New England, got shut
They
out.
got shut out by Zappy. Got shut, didn't even put a point on the board. See what I'm saying? I just can't win for losing. I'm gonna pick
They
them
were
this week.
up, y'all. They were up 10 in the fourth quarter. I'm like, Detroit got it. They got it. They got it. And man. Yeah. So my heart says the Lions. My heart says the Lions in this one. Boy, this is a hard one. It's really hard for me, Jamar, because I know I've been on the road lately of picking the Lions, and they never disappoint me. They never do. But the Packers got a chance to rebound here tomorrow. But Detroit is highly explosive. Guys, I'm hopping off the fence this week.
No.
I am hopping off the fence this week. Detroit is better than Green Bay, actually. When you really look at it, they're better than Green Bay. This season they are. They just don't know. It's something going on with their damn brains, Jamar. Like, I don't know what's going on with their psyche or something. They just be like mentally just checking out when they supposed to win these games. For real. The Lions should be a lot better than 1-6. At least according to how they play on the field. The better team, I think, really is the Lions. I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions on this one, man.
Get the bleep out of here.
He picked the Lions. He never picks the Lions. That just tells me that they're gonna get blew out by 50 this week.
And then he gonna come on here next Saturday. We're gonna lead with the Lions getting blown out. That's gonna be a lead right there.
Hey, fellas, let's put that out there, man. Let's put that out there. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like if the Lions had a chance, y'all, it would be this week, because the Packers are really a bad football team. They really are. If the Lions, this is your chance. We're putting this out in the early morning sports. This is your chance tomorrow to win a game. Go out and take care of the Packers. They are reeling right now. They are reeling. Take care of them. We'll see what the Lions do. But this is a good opportunity for you. All right, y'all. The Raiders at the Jags. Jags, man, kind of had some expectations for them, but they kind of fell back to being the Jags. And then the Raiders, what a disappointment. Maybe they partying too much on the script. Who do you got for this one, Jamar? The Raiders or the Jaguars, bro?
And shout out to the Jags for trading for Calvin Ridley, because boy, oh boy, next year, I think next year might be the actual year that you see the Jags. That record might flip to 6-2. I'm just calling that out there right now. So my good friend and our good friend of the podcast, Mr. Deshaun Reed, he labeled Derek Carr as booty cheeks last week.
This just keeps getting better and better.
I can't disagree with him.
And so it's like until he's no longer booty cheeks, I cannot pick the Raiders right now, because what he did last week made me so mad. That just pissed me. So I'm picking the Jags by default. I cannot pick the Raiders until he's no longer booty cheeks.
Right. And on the other hand, Ian and Jamar, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Jamar, hell no, scratch the lines. Look at damn Packers.
Oh no! Come on, Brandon.
I don't know what the hell I was just thinking. I done got all emotional and stuff like.
It's Derek Campbell. He got you hooked.
You know what? Either way, if the Lions win or lose, we starting off next week with the Lions and the Packers game. We are. Either
Got
way, it's
to.
a I told you so, or he's about to rip us a new one. It's either one or the other.
Got to.
So no, and for me, Jamar, please, hell no, I don't know
I
what
got,
the hell I was thinking.
I got you Packers on here. I
With
switched
the
it.
Packers because the Lions just find ways, man. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Hell no, I had to wake up back up to reality. Like, hold up, wait. Think
Oh
about
man.
this. And so yes, please give me the Packers, man. And my bad, bro. I'm sorry, man. The Raiders or the Jaguars.
I got it's not looking like a good marriage out there in Las Vegas. I got the Jags, man. I got the Jags.
No, they were chanting last week, y'all, in Vegas. They were chanting fire McDaniels, what's his full name, y'all? Something McDaniels?
Josh.
McDaniels.
Yeah.
Fire Josh
I don't-
McDaniels.
He
Fire
sucked.
Josh McDaniels.
I don't think he's a good head coach. You know, some coaches are just meant to be coordinators, and I think he's one of them.
I don't think he can lead men. I think that's what it is. He just can't lead a group of men. It takes, you got to be wired differently. You got to have a certain personality to motivate grown men. I don't think he has that at all.
And one more other thing to add, why I don't think he's a good coach. DJ Williams stated on I Am Athlete, he was their head coach, that they were cheating. That's why they started off like 6-0. And when he got suspended, or somebody got suspended, and they lost like 6 out of 7 games.
Right. This is true, bro.
I think they finished like 8-8 that year.
Yep.
He's trash.
Sure. And so yeah, I'm with y'all, man. I'm actually, but you know what? The way I'm gonna go with the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars.
You sure?
I'm positive because the
Okay.
Jaguars been playing. I feel like they're a young team that's finding their way. They just don't know how to win games yet, if that makes sense, y'all. And so, I'm gonna go with the Jags, especially being at home. Yeah. On the other hand, fellas, Jamar, Colts, they're up against the Patriots. And so the Patriots, do they rebound and get above 500? Or do the Colts get back to 500? Who you got?
Man, 15 years ago, this would have been a great game. Tremendous game.
Sunday night game.
2007.
Sunday night.
Man. Good times. Where's Dwayne at? So I can troll him real quick. Dwayne, I'm a believer in Sam Ellinger here. Deion Jackson gonna come in for Jonathan Taylor tomorrow since he's not playing. He's gonna run about $150 on y'all. Michael Pittman's gonna have 200 yards receiving, and all this is gonna be on Madden 22. So this is not happening. I'm picking the New England Patriots, man. Andre Stevenson is gonna do his thing.
You happy going, man?
Right. I'm like, man, like.
I'm not gonna pick the Colts.
Right. Video game. Different.
Oh man, I got the pass, man. I don't see the Colts winning.
And who you got, bro?
Sam Ellinger in an upset. Got the Colts.
All right. All eyes on that one, man. I got the Pats at home as well. Think the Pats are the better team. Y'all, the Bills. Check this out. This could be a good one, or it could be a blowout. The Bills are at the Jets. And so the Jets right now, man, they kind of going through something right now with Disney Channel quarterback Zach Wilson. But they 5-3. They can't be that bad of a team. Right, they're 5-3, fellas. And they're going up against the Bills. This could be a big statement game for the Jets tomorrow. Who you got for this one, Jamar?
It's like I'm saddened because I've been picking the Jets most of this year, even before the bandwagon started happening on that. But it's like they're not the same without Breece Hall. I don't think. Breece Hall was a special player, man. Breece is special. So, I mean, I was gonna pick the Bills regardless, but yeah, without that dynamic, man, I know Sauce been playing well, but Sauce can't guard everybody.
Nah, they ain't got post offices out there.
Nah. And Disney Channel quarterback against this Bills team that just keep thinking about 13 seconds here. He might be seeing ghosts like Sam Darnold did a few years ago. I got Bills.
Yeah, who you got, bro?
As much as I want to pick the Jets for an upset, I can't. I'm picking the Bills. I can't.
So, Jamar, just educate the world. Why do you call Zach Wilson Disney Channel quarterback?
He looked like he could star in one of those Disney Channel original movies as a quarterback for one of those teams in that setting. That's what he looks like.
The sweet life of Zach and Cody.
Yes, Zach grown up in one of those Disney Channel original films. I'm talking about a star quarterback going through some bullying here, but he's a jock at the same. Like I can see that whole script just played out. Zach Wilson.
Right. Well, that's why Jamar calls Zach Wilson a Disney Channel quarterback. All right. So with that being said, I'm rolling with y'all, man. I'm gonna take the Bills in this one, but I'm really interested to see how the Jets play tomorrow. The Vikings at the Commanders, y'all. The Vikings, top 5 in a lot of people's eyes. But shout out, y'all. We want to shout out Ron Rivera and the job he's doing in Washington with this team. They're overachieving. And Tyler Haneke has pretty much been a pretty good quarterback when he's had the opportunity. So who do you got for this one, Jamar?
Okay. Had to check something real quick. I'm rolling with the Commanders. I like the Commanders. I like the fact that this offense responds better to Taylor Heineke. And more importantly, Terry McLaurin has shown himself again because of Taylor Heineke. They just play with a little bit more edge. We know Taylor Heineke isn't the greatest quarterback, but he's definitely not the worst. He just plays with a lot of grit. That's Dan Campbell's favorite word. A lot of grit. So, yeah, I like the Commanders in the upset here. The Vikings won't beat themselves, but the Commanders will do enough.
And your thoughts, bro?
I'm going Vikings.
Yeah, I'm really interested in this game. I'm going with the Vikings. You got it, Jamar. I picked the Vikings a lot over the years because I believed in this formula that they got. And so, yeah, I think the Vikings are physical tomorrow, but I'm really interested in this one, Jamar. Washington is low-key a good football team. They are not all that on offense, but their defense is all freaking world. And their defensive line, they got some dogs. Those draft picks, y'all, I feel like for the Commanders with that star defensive line, all those big names, I think it's paying off. You got Mr. Keith Sweat. I know he ain't Keith Sweat, but I call him Keith Sweat. You got Jonathan. I mean, you got some guys on the defensive line that can play. These guys, right. These guys, they ain't even got Chase Young yet.
Nope.
These guys, they got some ballers, the Commanders, low-key, on this defensive side. And so I'm really interested in seeing this game. But I'm going to go with the Vikings tomorrow in a very, very, very hard-fought game. The Seahawks, y'all, check this out. They are going up against the Cardinals, who are 3-5. And, I recall Jamar and Ian, you guys highlighting the Cardinals and stating that they had a tough schedule this year, and they are beneficiaries of it. Very tough schedule this year. They are 3-5, but the Seahawks are surprising folks. Who you got for this one, Jamar?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the guy that they wrote off, dude. I'm taking the Seahawks. They're just playing well. Ken Walker III has been a sensation. Yeah. He has really balanced out that offense. DK has life. Tyler Lockett has life. That defense is playing with life.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with Seattle, man.
Yeah. What about you, bro?
So I do like Seattle they've been exceptionally well. Young defense, young secondary, Kenneth Walker, Geno, DK, Tyler, they've been exceptional. But I'm not going to get Tyler though. They got D Hop back. D Hop will probably have like 15 catches.
I hope so.
He gonna throw the ball to him because I got him.
I need all of that.
No, I got him on fantasy. You got him on fantasy. I got him on fantasy too. So
Need him.
He needs to catch the ball, Kyler.
Wait, y'all, shout out to the Destination Fantasy Podcast. Airs every Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna take the Cardinals in this one.
Yeah, you know what? And you kind of where I'm at. I like the story of the Seahawks. I think this is a really good game. If you're a football fan, watch this game. It's a lot of talent on this field.
Yeah.
Robbie Anderson, man, is on the Cardinals as well. People forget this guy takes the hat off of defense, man. James Conner, he's not the most spectacular back, but he just finds the end zone. You know, this is a really good game to watch. And NFC West is always a great division. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals tomorrow, y'all. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. I don't know if that's an upset, but I think the Cardinals, I think they're a pretty decent team. I think they take care of business. JJ Watt is on the field. All these big names for the Cardinals, man. So I think the Cardinals take care of business tomorrow. The Rams, y'all. Talk about a Super Bowl hangover.
Man.
The Rams and the Buccaneers. Who thought both of these teams would be at the records they are? 3-4, and the Bucs 3-5. Wow. And so curious, Jamar, who you got for this one, man?
This is tough for all the wrong reasons. This is the last two Super Bowl champions going right at it. They gave us a classic playoff game last year.
Mm-hmm.
And now both of them look like they're not making the playoffs. Yeah, I'm just trying to think like which one of these teams suck worse. Like it's oh boy, I'm leaning towards the Bucs to win this game, but man, ask me again at 3:05 tomorrow. But I'm picking the Bucs right now. Jeez, it's brutal.
Tough game. Like Jamar stated, you guys stated, last two Super Bowl champions. Both having pretty bad years per se. I'm gonna go. Man, it's tough. I'm gonna go Rams. I think they're gonna retire Brady. I think he needs to go.
Yeah, Tom Brady, man, he's going through a lot right now. But yeah, I think y'all, the Rams are still a good football team. At least I can't sit here and disrespect them, y'all, like that, because they still got Allen Robinson. They still got Cooper Kupp. They still got Matthew Stafford. They still got Akers. They still got Aaron Donald. I can just go down the line. They still got one. I mean, all these great players. You gotta beat the Bucs tomorrow. You gotta beat the Bucs tomorrow. I know it's in Tampa, but if you guys are gonna be halfway decent with all this talent, you gotta beat the Bucs tomorrow. And so for that reason, I'm gonna go with the Rams, although they have looked very disappointing.
Dude, and then one quick thing about the Rams, like this whole Cam Akers situation is just wild. Like you telling me you gonna trade the guy, release him, then all of a sudden like we didn't like the deals we got, so we're gonna like, hey Cam, come on back. Matter of fact, you can practice this week. Matter of fact, if you do good enough, we'll actually play you this Sunday. Like what?
He's definitely not gonna want to play.
Like it's crazy, man. He's the best running back they got too. I don't understand this.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, you know, both of these teams are a disappointment. But I'm gonna go with the Rams. Check this out, y'all. Big game tomorrow. 5-2 Tennessee Titans at the Kansas City Chiefs. I tell y'all what, whoever wins this game will definitely be in my top 5. So, Jamar, who you got, bro, in this one, the Titans or the Chiefs?
Man, Kansas City's not even close. It's either gonna be a hobbled Ryan Trashill or Malik Willis, I think. Whatever.
Yeah, Willis. Yeah.
No, it's Kansas City, man.
I like your smartness here, man. And who you got, bro?
Yeah, I got Kansas City. Malik Willis start. They're just gonna give the ball to Derrick Henry 50 times like they did last week. So Yeah, I don't think Ryan Tannehill is there. I think he's the team back for a couple years now. So I got the Chiefs. Even though they seem to have the Chief number for some reason, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
I don't think this is a butt whooping. I think this is a very good game. But I think the Chiefs, they're just a better team. And if Malik Willis is starting, I mean, you know, he looks every bit of like a rookie when he's out there, which means that they will give Derrick Henry the ball, which means, y'all, it would make the game close because ain't nobody stopping Derrick Henry. Nobody. So it makes for an entertaining game. But I think the Chiefs, y'all, they don't have to hold the ball and work as hard as Tennessee will in order to score a touchdown. Kansas City just kind of do it. They just kind of put them up. And so I'm going to go with Kansas City. I'm anxious to see how the Titans do, though. On the other hand, the Ravens, y'all, 5-3. They're at the Saints. Right now, Jameis is not starting in the rusty rifle. Jamar is playing pretty good, man. When they give Alvin Kamara the ball, it looks like a good football team. But the Ravens are coming in. They got Roquan Smith. They got our boy Lamar. Who you got for this one, bro?
You know, the Ravens actually play up to their potential here, then it's like it's a no-brainer in my eyes. Man. All right. I'm gonna take the Ravens. I don't feel all the way warm and fuzzy about it, but I'm gonna take them.
And what about you, bro?
I think I'll go with the Ravens as well. I'm going with the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm with y'all. I'm gonna go with the Ravens as well. I'm interested to see how the Saints look, but you know, Mr. Thomas, he's out for the year. I think that hurts this team. At least going against the Ravens tomorrow. So and I think Roquan, man, I think he'll be all over Alvin Kamara tomorrow. So for that reason, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. And so, fellas, that concludes our NFL picks for this morning. And so, at this point, we are now, fellas, at our final thoughts and shout outs. We'll talk about Golden State later. It's a little early right now. And so, Jamar, follow up in any final thoughts or shout outs, fellas, as we head into the weekend.
Man, you know what? Man, there's a lot of things that happened in sports this week. Two quick ones. Shout out to the NFL trade deadline, which was the most explosive trade deadline in the history of NFL, with about 9 deals happening that day, including the Miami Dolphins getting Bradley Chubb and also Jeff Wilson Jr. To basically saying that we're all in. We believe in Tua. Tua gives us the best chance to win. We have everything around him, you know, to get the job done. That's what they're saying. So, you know, shout out to all the deals that was done. And then real quick, just interesting topic that we're probably going to have more news here the next week to come. You know, the suspended Ime Udoka, you know, supposedly supposed to be the next head coach of the Boston Celtics here. Just, you know, just that whole dynamic, how, you know, it doesn't feel right, doesn't look good. I don't know. Then again, we don't know the full details of the whole situation. Anyway, you know, shout out to Brooklyn Nets for, you know, being the Brooklyn Nets. That's all.
Right. And with all this being said, yeah, Ime Udoka could this week, y'all, be put in as the Brooklyn Nets' new head coach. Imagine that.
Crazy.
It's all in the news, bro. Ian, bro, any final thoughts or shout outs?
The Bears going out and getting Justin Fields a weapon. Chase Claypool. Interested in see what that brings us. I guess it kind of gives us a little hope that they have faith. I don't know if he's a number one. I don't think he's a number one, but he could damn sure help, you know, open up the offense a little bit more with him and Darnell Mooney. So yeah, I'm excited to see that. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, fellas, I just want to highlight congrats to the Morgan Park Mustangs. Nice win yesterday. Shutout 28-0 Walter Payton. Moving on to the quarterfinals, first time since our team did it in. Additionally, 1 Tennessee at 3 Georgia. Get your popcorn ready. That winner is likely going to the college football playoff. And then lastly, y'all know where I'm going. I hope to see Dusty Baker get his first ring tonight. I would love to see it. It will be great. It'll be finally that moment. And so World Series Game 6 tonight in Houston. And with that being said, fellas, those are my final thoughts and shout outs. And so we thank you all for tuning in with us this weekend for the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast and waking up with us to get your weekend started and talk some sports. We thank you all. We appreciate you all. And may each of you have a great weekend. Peace.
Peace.